Got me buzzing, I'm so high, I just can't get enough. Oh, please fill up my cup with whatever magic potion you keep whipping up. You got me buzzing, I'm so high, I just can't get enough. Oh, please fill up my cup with whatever magic potion you keep whipping up. What's in your recipe? How does it do what it does to me? You got me buzzing like a bee, chasing honey, intoxicating me, so satisfying. I never thought it tastes like this, but it's just so damn delicious. And it got me buzzing, I'm so high, I just can't get enough. Please fill up my cup with whatever magic potion you keep whipping up. You got me buzzing, I'm so high, I just can't get enough. Please fill up my cup with whatever magic potion you keep whipping up. Don't worry, girl, I got you. Just stick with me. A phrase that pierces my ears frequently, but you avoid other motives while pretending that you cared, disguised as a friend, asking me to share my dreams, share my goals, and wanting me to wear my soul. But did you ever really care? Were you ever really there for me? Or did you just see an opportunity? Oh, I'm getting tested all the time. But what they really just doing is molesting me. So now I focus on the lessons I learn every single day. And I'm teaching myself how to avoid all the bullshit along the way. If you're not here to help me, then please step aside, 'cause only real ones are invited on this ride. No more asking, did you ever really care? Were you ever really there for me? Or did you just see an opportunity? Oh, I'm getting tested all the time. Testing me. But what they really just doing is molesting me. So keep on testing me, testing me. 'Cause really what you're doing is blessing me, blessing me. Blessing me.
Chris Wave.
Did you ever really care? Were
Hey, all right, everybody. We are here for another dope episode of Let's Get Activated podcast. You got me, your girl, Samantha LaValle. You've got the amazing artist, songwriter, choreographer, entertainer, creator, just Bill of all trades, CJ SCALA in the building. How you doing?
So good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, my pleasure. So we were just, jamming to Daiquiri and Blessings. You got to let us know the premises of those dope tracks and videos. They were hot.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Daiquiri was produced by Chris Wave, and that was the first of all the many more to come. I had to give him a little sass, show him a little something. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I love that one. That video was also shot by a friend of mine, Pedro, who I don't even know where he is in the world. He's everywhere. He's an amazing director. That was so much fun to do. That came out in February of last year.
Nice.
And then Blessings, also produced by Chris and Mookie, and then Chris shot it and directed it, edited it, and did all the things. He's super talented. Thank you to him. And Blessings is a special one for me because we were chatting a little bit before. It's just, it's really, that story is about, being in the industry as a female, and a lot of people kind of putting their arm around you and be like, don't worry, I got you, you're safe. And you try to trust and put your faith in them and hope that they really do have your back. And where I come from on the East Coast, when people say that, they mean that, we're not rude, we're honest, if we got you, we got you. We got you for life, and if we don't like you, we're going to tell you that too. And that's okay. You don't have to love everybody. Not everybody's supposed to be, in your circle like that. But you, work-wise, you can be able, you should be able to have those conversations. Like, maybe we don't get along, or I don't like you, but let's work. I see this in you. Let's do it. Instead of looking for other opportunities that I'm not willing to offer, and and I have to just kind of do it by myself. But the whole point of that was, they keep testing me, but they're really blessing me, because in the process, instead of giving up and acting like I wasn't worth it and I wasn't talented enough, I decided, no, actually, I don't really need you. I'm going to do it all myself. I'm going to figure out how to do this and this and this and this. So thanks for testing me and blessing me to now know all these other tricks, and that I now don't need you all. And now I'm going to keep on climbing, and whoever wants to jump on board and really be a part of the actual journey to do this, then let's do it. And if you're trying for something else, walk the other way, because that's not going to happen here. You really that's not going to happen here. Let's make some money, and let's make some good music and inspire people. That's what I'm trying to do. Really.
Amen to that. Yeah, that was
about. Yeah, really.
That was empowering, and that's how I first got tapped into you. Pinpoint was like, you need to link with her. I watched the video. I was like, yep, she's dope. Let's go.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, thanks to him. He's a great connection in my life as well, and definitely has just done nothing but show love and support from day one. So thank you, Khalil. He's, I'm a big fan of his and Pinpoint in general, and I wish him all the luck with that. We actually talked a while back about doing a show, and actually I'm going to put him on, if he's watching, Khalil, I'm going to put you on blast right now, sir. He did talk about doing kind of a fundraiser with performances and other artists and vendors and things like that to rate and put some of the proceeds towards rheumatoid arthritis, which his dad has. And unfortunately, I as well have it as a younger person. With the doctors are like, what? But I do. It's something I deal with. But either way, we should do that show, Khalil. So let's make that happen, bud. We have enough artists. We have enough people. We have the things. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
I guess I got to get on him now, too.
Now you have to get on him. Exactly. Please do.
Yep. I gotta hit him up because I think that would be, very important and fundraiser. And
Yeah,
my hat's off to you, girl, because even with that, you be moving. I was watching the hip
I
hop
have
fit,
to.
you were dancing.
I have to. If I don't, like it's tough. I've danced since I was 2 years old. I grew up. I was dancing probably before I was even born. My older sister was a dancer, so when I was in my mom still, like walking into the studio, I was feeling the everything. So I was probably dancing before I could even walk. I definitely started at 2, and like hitting the floor and tapping, and just my
Mhm.
grandmother was a professional singer and dancer, so she definitely brought that around me a lot, and always singing in the house and dancing with my parents, and so that was always there. But growing up, I was a competitive dancer, and I had tendonitis in my knees at like 13. They told me I needed to stop dancing. I was like, nope. In my hips, like all the things. I've had like broken toes and feet and all the things, and like, but I I know that if I don't keep moving, it's actually worse for me. Like if I just sit, it's gonna be even worse. So I try not to push myself too much because I know I have to, be careful to my body. But
Mhm.
if I don't move, it's bad. It's worse. I have to keep moving. I have to keep moving. Got to stay strong. Got to.
Definitely. You would
Got
never know though. Like you would never know. If you watch all the dancing, you would have no clue.
to. That's like, models that like walk the runway in like 3 size shoes. It's
Yes.
too small for them. They're like, you gotta just, you gotta make it work. You gotta
Yes.
just do it. You gotta fake it till you make it. What can I say?
You
But
make it
yeah, like,
happen.
and then you come home and you ice yourself and arnica gels and all the things. But I'm all like, I talked to Khalil about this too, like all natural stuff. Like I don't even like Motrin, like I take
Mhm.
turmeric and cinnamon and arnica and thyme and all the things for like naturally that will reduce inflammation. Cherries are really good. All about the natural. All natural.
All natural.
All
It keeps you
natural.
healthy. All
Yes.
natural. It keeps you healthy, and apparently it's
But except
working.
for these, but other
You
than that.
know?
That's the fakest thing on me. Other than that.
Other than that, everything all natural. I'm I'm with it.
Exactly.
I'm with it. I'm with it. And then also, you've been singing, of course, like you said, since you were a
Yeah.
little girl. How
Since
did
I
you
was
find your
little, yeah.
voice?
Yeah, since I was little. Well, again, family definitely inspired that for sure. Always, I would hear like my mom and my grandmother like singing harmonies together and stuff, and I would always be like, trying to sing along with them. And uh, when I was maybe like 7 or 8, I sang, and my sister like kind of like her. I watched her jaw drop, and she like went running into the other room and like grabbing my mom and my grandmother and like, she can sing. You got to come in here. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, I'm just singing what I heard, like, and mimicked it. And my grandmother started to like kind of pull me aside and do some little scales with me. And she's like, oh, you have my voice. And so that was beautiful. And then as I got into high school,
Mhm.
I musical theater came back into like my high school. So I was like, let's do this. I mean, I started to teach myself how to play piano when I was like 7 years old. I like locked myself in the room and like learned how to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I'm like my favorite movie of all time. And I'm like, let me figure out how to do this. And then started to play saxophone when I was 9.
Man.
And reading and writing music, and then the dancing, and then singing at home with my family. So when high school rolled around to try theater, I was like, I mean, this only seems right. I mean, I might as well. I have all the other things happening. And acting came so natural. I'm like, this is so much fun. It's like I get to be make believe. It's like, I get to be a kid and just pretend to be this character and take on this whole persona, and loved that. And then ended up going to school for musical theater for just a little bit. I ended up realizing that, you know, getting a degree in it really wasn't what I was looking for, because you can't like go to Broadway and be like, here's my degree, put me on
Right.
stage.
Right.
I'm great. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're
Right.
like, okay, I don't care. Can you do this?
Right.
So I didn't really want to teach theater. I knew I could teach dance. It was something that I literally like grew up doing. I competitively danced. I was on the United States tap team and went to Germany 3 times, and actually am an Olympic gold medalist twice. And sit on the podium and have the whole thing. And so dancing, you know, was something I can always fall back on that. I still teach, you know, here and there, and I'm involved in that because that's always my first love, you know, that's always in me. But yeah, the theater just came kind of naturally, and then I wanted to be Velma Kelly on Broadway. That was like my goal. I wanted to be in Chicago. Like I was dying to be that part, and still, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe someday. You never know. But
course.
that was the dream. That was the dream, you know, to be in, to do all the things. So I took the hour commute and moved to the city, and from where I was from in New Haven, Connecticut, and at 19, all by myself. And then unfortunately, you know, had to take care of myself and pay my own bills, and bartended. And that life in New York is different because, you know, you're there from like, you know, 7 at night till 5, 6 in the morning, and you're making all cash, and you're like, oh, okay. And then like, who wants to get up for an audition at 7 in the morning? And you got bills to pay and all these things. So I kind of spiraled away from that a little bit, unfortunately, and became like a real person for a little bit in life, and stumbled upon some friends in Queens that overheard me singing, and they were rappers and some producers, and they were like, whoa, you got to get on a hook. You got to come. And so I was like, okay. And I always wrote and kind of hid my stuff and didn't really share with anybody. And eventually these people started to kind of pull me out, and got into the studio with them, and got the bit by the bug. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to write and be in the studio and make music and create and just overall create, you know. And ended up having an opportunity to come out to LA. I said, you know, why not? I'm not married, have no kids. I got no real commitment here. If I'm going to do it, this is the time to do it. If anything, if I hate it, New York's always here. So I can always come back, right? So I packed my stuff. I got in the car, quit my job, and drove cross country, and have been here pretty much ever since. And trying to conquer LA still, trying to figure it out. And it's definitely been a struggle. Definitely have some ups and downs. Definitely thought I should just give up for a while. As I get older and older, you think, well, you know, I'm this old now, and I'm this, and what are my chances? But it doesn't really mean anything. You have to just keep trying. And you know, the universe was telling me maybe it wasn't quite right then, and now here I am, and all these other things and the lessons I've learned, and trying to just take all that and just be better every day and keep pushing and not give up. And I'm really grateful for all the friends of mine that I grew up with that I didn't even realize were still really following me, and seeing all their love and support from the second I dropped Daiquiri. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that you even remembered me. And like all these people, and I'm like, that's so wonderful to know that like I still have people that like I knew you could do it. Like, don't ever give up. You know, that's really good to hear, because I am here alone, and you know, you get into your own little headspace sometimes, and you're like, like I'm just gonna roll over and give up. And then you're like, no, I gotta get up and I gotta do this. And then to hear all that, knowing that people that you're not even in their lives like that anymore, but still are really rooting you on, and strangers and new people that they're sharing to, and everybody in between, and all the adventures I've been on, and all the people that really are still supporting me and believing in me is really, I'm really grateful for that. Really, it helps me keep going, really.
Wow.
Somebody out there is like into it. And I'm like, you know, I'm doing this for me, but I mean, I'm doing it. You know, obviously you want people to connect, you want them to relate, you want them to understand you. And you know, it is. It's telling, you know, I love writing. I had a really hard time singing in public for a long time. And I still get a little bit nervous, but I'm definitely better at it. But ultimately, you know, it was always scary. But singing my songs was even more like, I felt like I was standing there completely naked, like taking a piece of my heart and putting it on the floor for everybody. And it was really difficult to try to share that. And, you know, what do people think? And, you know, but I've been really overwhelmed with the feedback and the love and the encouragement. And I'm just going to keep on pushing and keep doing it. I have the next EP is actually, I'm currently working on it, and it's should be coming out very soon. I was aiming for end of March, but it'll probably be more like April. But we're about halfway done with that. It's gonna be a series of 4, so I'm gonna do 4 song EPs. They're all kind of gonna be like little chapters of life. So the first one was Real Talk. The next one is gonna be like Deuces. The second one, it's a lot. It's talking about breakups and walking away from, things that don't need to be in your life. And yeah, so just little chapters moving forward. But yeah, that will be very soon. I'll keep you posted on the date for sure. Absolutely.
I'm excited because I'm gonna tell y'all haven't heard Real Talk. I mean, it really is real talk. It is a dope because I caught it was 4 songs, but I was thinking, you know what? It's something. It's a reason to this. Like in my head,
Yeah.
It's got to be a reason to this, and I think each song is in like a particular order too. It's like it was a whole.
Exactly. Like Who Have I Become? Definitely. I waited. I needed to get that one before I moved on with the whole vision of everything. Because a lot of people for a long time are like, just release this. I'm like, no, like in the back of my mind, like I wasn't like afraid to. I knew things weren't quite ready. I actually, a good friend of mine, Anya, hopefully she's watching. Hello, AV. She and I have been working together, and she's an incredible artist as well. But I told her, like, it's like sometimes I feel like I have all the ingredients and they're like all on the counter, and I'm just like, but I can make this with it, and I can make this with it. What do I make? And she kind of helps me, like, no, we're gonna make a cake, and now we're gonna put the oven on. It's like, okay, help me like take all of this and bring it to this place, because like it could go here and it could go there, and it's great to have all this creativity like flowing through, but I need some help sometimes, like reining it in, and it just doesn't feel right sometimes. And so when you have that influence of or other ears helping you kind of like navigate to that place, it's really helpful. And so Who Have I Become was definitely very important for me to make sure that was right, because it's almost like the overture of like moving forward. It had to be the first one. It had to be. And fun fact, my grandmother actually, if you hear the crackle in the beginning and the summertime at the end, that's actually my grandmother on a vinyl from 1949 singing Summertime on my vinyl. I'm on this first song, so she's definitely in there with me.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Well, Who Have I Become definitely had to set the tone, and they're all in an order for a reason, exactly like you said. So, yeah, moving forward, all these little chapters, like you'll just learn a little bit more about me, and just be able to share my story through song, pretty much.
Definitely. Look, next one's Walk Away. I said we might as well just go through it. We might as well. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So what was Walk Away for you? Was that like just walking away?
Walk Away was, I actually wrote that one a long time ago. That's actually had a lot of different variations as well. Just trial and error that I'm like, no, that's not right. Walk Away actually was produced by my good friend Drew Kapner, Angel House Studios. So thank you to him. He is super brilliant, incredible. I'm so grateful that I was able to work with him. He actually helped me produce Walk Away and Keep It Real, the next one. But Walk Away, I wrote a long time ago. It was just kind of like me overhearing people just like, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm sick of it. Like, if this person, like, I say to my friends sometimes, like, if you don't lie to the person you're lying next to, you know what I mean? You can't do that. Like if you don't trust this person, your gut is telling you, like, you got to walk away. You have to. Like, it's just, and as much as like we can't force somebody to do that, it's like telling like, a drug addict to stop. They can't. It's nobody can tell anybody, but it's just something that I saw. I'm like, wow, how sad this is. And it's also me telling myself sometimes, because obviously like I said, we get into this place and we try to hold on to the good and realize, wait, no. I avoided so many red flags, and really, like, I know in my bones this is happening, but I don't want to admit it. And then it's like, and then you think you're crazy, but in all reality, like, your intuition is right. So just, even if it's a friend or somebody you're like intimate with or whatever, like, it's okay to like leave that person. And I've had that too. Like, I thought, well, even with friends, like, well, nothing major happened. Like, I mean, but still I have the right to say, well, we don't really add anything to each other's lives. It's not a, you know, I hate you, go fuck yourself type of situation. It's a, please, you know, I wish you well, and if we cross paths again, cool, but I'm gonna be over here and you go over there. You know what I mean? Like, no ill will, but it's just, we don't need to be in each other's lives. It doesn't benefit either of us. So walk away, basically.
Amen.
Deuces.
Look, I resonated all with that one. Yeah. You know, and then this is my jam. Keep it real. I think that's my favorite one.
Keep it real is a lot of people's favorites. It's definitely my favorite. Well, it's hard to say it was my favorite because I love all my songs, but Keep It Real is without trying to get emotional. That one's very special to me. My good friend who is no longer with us, he actually helped start writing that song. He's one of the friends back in Queens who was a MC, and he really believed in me and always encouraged me. And I did songs with other people in that circle, and he was like, when is it art? Like, let's do one together. And he was over my place one night, and we were, drinking some whiskey and smoking and all the things. And he's like, great, this notebook. He's like, we got it. He's like, let's talk about being real, because you're so real. And I'm like, we did this whole thing, and I actually stumbled across the notebook and have it, and like with all of his tags in it, because he was just listening to me, and he couldn't even like write anything at the first one. He was like, no, I love this, like, do it. And then I would call him, and he would write more, and I would tell him about this. And I moved out here, and I never got to finish the song. And unfortunately, he passed away. The end of this month will be 10 years that he's gone. So, and his birthday was just the other day. He's on my arm. I have a little olive branch because he used to say olive juice to me to say he loves me. So he's always with me. But Keep It Real was inspired by him, and that one definitely is a special, special one to me. And I always dedicate that one to him for sure. Like,
I love that. He's smiling down at you. I think he's proud of you for what you're doing.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's gonna always be your baby. I mean, and we, of course, we already kind of went over blessings. That was the first video, but
blessings is definitely that. It's definitely that. It's in general, like whether it's a music business or not. Just that was my story, what the inspiration came from. But I need to for sure. I need to tell myself this. To control our emotions and not let people get us, because really keep on testing me. And really what we need to do is sit back and kind of laugh it off and be like, okay, thanks for showing me really who you are, and thanks for showing me this, and thanks for that. I'm gonna be over here, so you keep doing that, and I'm gonna go do this. But that's really the whole testing blessing is, constantly we're going to get tested, but we have to take it and flip it and use it to our power. Like, we have to turn our pain into power. We have to just keep pushing.
Definitely.
Use it as fuel. That's what blessings is. It's fuel.
Especially in this industry.
Oh, for sure.
Hardcore.
Absolutely. And I thought because, growing up competitive dancing, you're getting like, critiqued you're hearing tapes back, cassettes, like cassettes, but like feedback from like the judges being like, oh, point your toe there. So you're constantly like, it took me, I was so wrapped up in being so technically perfect that I forgot to perform. And I would watch people that maybe weren't technically perfect, but you couldn't take your eyes off of them because they lived in that moment. They oozed passion of what they were doing, and I started to like sit back and say, okay, I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to do this, I just have to be myself and genuine and be in that moment and like and deliver it and just try to connect. Like, we can't be perfect, we just can't. It's not a real thing. Perfect is not real. Like, what is perfect really? Imperfect is being perfect, really. But
definitely.
You have to you gotta just be in that place and let go of all of that and just share your gift,
Definitely. What you're doing, and I just admire your drive. Like, when you were talking about cross country, done that, being alone in a certain place, done that, So I
Good.
love it. I
It's
love it. How was that
definitely.
like for you, by the way, driving cross country?
Oh,
Man.
well, I had my good friend Holly. I talked her into coming with me. She was basically just my like, you know, my co-pilot. I was like, just get me snacks and change the music and whatever and
Mhm.
keep me company. And I got her a plane ticket to fly back when we landed out here. But I had her just come out here, and then that was it. I came out. I had a lot of dancer friends out here. When I was moving to New York, a lot of them were coming out to LA, and they're like, "Come to LA." I'm like, "No, the ground moves. I don't know about this. Like, like I don't want an earthquake." And it's so far from home. I'm like, let me just go, New York, because so close with my mom and dad. They're, I love my brother and sister, but my mom and dad are almost like they're like more like my brother and sister. Like I'm very, very close with them. And it's a lot of people think that like maybe I left because like I wasn't close with my family, but it's the absolute opposite. Like I love them so much, and my mom and dad, unfortunately, they come from a much older Italian generation where my mom especially, wasn't really allowed to have an education and do all that. She was supposed to be a wife and a mother and that's it, and take care of her family. So my parents were very supportive of me and never wanted me to leave, but they believed in me and wanted me to live my dreams that they couldn't, So I'm very grateful for them, and I'm trying to make my first billion so I can get them out here and get them their mansion and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so that I can have them closer to me, because it's totally not that at all. I'm very close with my family, and I miss them all the time. And I I'm here because life brought me here, and I stayed here, and I'm just gonna keep fighting. And it definitely gets lonely, and I it sucks, but I fight for me, I fight for them, and I gotta just keep going. You know?
Definitely you have to. Have they come down to Cali?
Yeah, they've come actually, and they're on their way leaving. They're leaving my childhood home like currently in the morning, which is definitely emotional. They're moving to Texas to be closer to my brother and my nephews, and so at least they'll be closer to me. It's a 3-hour flight rather than a 6-hour flight, so I'm like, okay, it's a little bit better. You're kind of close. But yeah, they've been out here, and hopefully they'll be out here a lot more now that they're a bit closer. And yeah. I hope they get
Definitely.
someone.
Definitely. And things are opening up more, so more
Yeah,
shows and things
exactly.
too, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I want to get out there. I definitely want to get out there and do some shows and do a little tour. I might try to wait for this next EP just so I have a few more songs under the belt to like go play with. And but yeah, I would love to get out there and do some stuff.
Oh, people would enjoy it. I've tapped
Yeah.
in. I've seen you
Yeah,
perform.
I know. Unfortunately, I've only gotten to do a few shows, and
Mhm.
I held off for a long time, and people were like, "Come do them." And my very first one it's not laughable, but it was like I'm really impressed with what I did and how it turned out, because I really didn't have songs ready. They were still ideas, and I was pulling a lot of covers out and trying to flip them and just kill time, because the people that booked me are like, "You can do like 2 hours, right?" I'm like, no, I can't do 2 hours. Like, I mean, I can, but like not really.
Right.
So they're like, well, like, maybe like an hour or so, an hour and a half. So I ended up doing like, I think 2 like 40-minute sets, but like broke it up and like just had my friends like, play like just extended versions, like, yeah, keep playing the saxophone, like, just trying to stretch it,
Right.
do whatever. But it was a huge turnout, and everybody was really excited and coming in off the street and like loving me. And so from then I was like, well, if I'm getting this much love and response off of things that aren't even really solid yet, and I'm just trying to put myself out there because people are keep asking me to, and I need to just do it, then maybe there's something here when I actually have like some songs done. So I'm definitely excited to do that. I only did one other show after that, and songs still were not really. That was only a 20-minute set though, so that wasn't too bad.
Mhm.
But definitely still a good response. Lots of people came out, new fans, and I'm always excited to just be exposed to new ears and eyes, because I am so bad at that. Like on the whole social media of it all, like, hey, everybody look at me. And I'm like, oh, like I'm so old school where I'm like, well, can't you just like, talk about me, and like we'll go here and you can see me here,
Right.
whatever. Like I don't, so That's always tricky, that I have to try to trick my brain to figure out how to promote myself in that way and really do all that to get the new fans. But I'm always grateful for the ones that actually hear me and like come in off the street and are like, hey, like that means a lot to me. So I just need to get out there, share the love, get into
Definitely.
the ears and the eyes of the people.
Definitely. This is why, me and, so many others, we do shows like this to
Yeah,
bring you all out to the forefront for people can
I
tap
appreciate it.
in.
Yes, I appreciate it.
What
Mhm.
are what is your take on collaborations? Because I just have a feeling certain people that are watching, they might be like, yo,
I
we
love
got
it. I'm in. I love it. I love working with other people, getting inspired, hearing their sound. Maybe it's taking me outside of my comfort zone a bit to try something new. Like I always love that. Like for me, it was really hard because as a dancer and just hearing music from my like grandparents and my mom and dad, like from like the 20s to current day, like I love so many older artists are like real like inspirations for me. And um so for me growing up, I was exposed to so much that I
Mhm.
couldn't really figure out what my sound really was. I
Right.
love jazz is the root of everything underneath it for me.
Mhm.
I like, Billie Holiday and, all of that, like the saxophone and the style of jazz that I dance at, like Fosse, and like I just that sound, that sexiness, that just like I don't know, there's something about jazz that's just so special to me that's always gonna be some sort of flow in my music, whether it's the way like I'm, hitting the melody or whatever, or the cadences and stuff like that, or a horn or something in there that gives you that ooze of jazz. But also from New York, and hip hop and is in my ears, and then classic rock and all these other, and like oldies and Motown and everything. So like I never, even country, like, so I was like,
Mhm.
where do I go, how do I fit in? So I'm always excited to be able to dip into whatever genre I can with whoever, if that's my time to shine in that place, because I don't know how to bring all that to my life all the time. So I
Right.
love collabs to just do everything whenever I can with whoever. So I'm
Ooh,
in.
y'all heard it.
Hit me
Already
up. I'm in.
the great, my artist already just said yep. So I'm just saying
Yeah, let's do it.
I
I
can really
dance, I can
see that.
choreograph, we can do all the things. I build. I mean, come on. The list goes on.
And you're
Really, I
right.
have to start saying, what can't I do, really? It's like, I don't know. I can't iron. I'm really bad at ironing. I like the wrinkle release stuff, just spraying.
Right. Keep it simple.
I admit it. I cannot iron, but I can cook. I'm Italian. I cook everything from scratch and do all the things. But
Ooh.
yeah, ironing, no, can't do it. It's
What's
not
your
a,
favorite dish to cook?
oh gosh. I mean, Christmas Eve is my favorite day because we do like, the seven fishes. So it's all like
Mhm.
the zuppi beige and the fried calamari and like all like I make like bronzino on like the grill, like everything. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Mussels,
Ooh.
steamers, like I love all that. Seafood I love. But I mean, homemade pasta is so good. And everybody here in the United States who are like, oh, I have a gluten allergy. I'm like, I don't know if you do. You might just need to have some homemade pasta, because if you step out of the country, they don't have
Right.
all the stuff that's in these pastas here, unfortunately. But yeah, um, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite dish. I love everything. Like I literally eat everything. Like my dad was more of like game eater and like like deer and venison,
Mhm.
deer, rabbit, like bison, all that stuff. And then my mom would be like sushi and caviar and like steak tartare, and like so like I would. They don't like the same of that, but I'll eat all of that. I'm like, yeah, try it. My dad's like, here, try this. If you like it, I'll
Mhm.
tell you what it is. I'm like, okay. Oh, it's brains. I'm like, okay, I like it, Dad. It's great.
Right. Yeah, you try it. Hey, you never know till you try it.
Yeah, I eat it all. I like everything. I like
Wow.
everything. Yeah.
My type of girl. All this stuff we got in common. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, what do you like? We can just play at the potluck.
Yes. Yeah, I know. You said you're on the West Coast right now, right? You should just
Yes.
fly down here. Come down to
Yes.
LA.
I might have to head up because I've never been to Cali anyway. So there
What?
you go.
Oh
No,
no, you gotta get out here. You gotta
man.
get
What are
out
your
here.
favorite spots in Cali as far as maybe things to do?
Oh. You know what? I'm still always trying to find stuff because it's so tough out here. It's so spread out. And
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of things like you don't even know exist. And you're like, what? I didn't know that was there. Or like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like in New York, it was so much easier. Like you can like find whatever you wanted any night of the week. Like
Yeah.
and like
Mm-hmm.
here, it's like really like I don't know. It's hard. Like so, like I look for like events and like friends of mine that do things that take me to certain places. But I don't know if I have like a particular spot that like I'm like, oh, I go there all the time type of thing. I've been such a homebody since like the whole thing, like the whole
Mm-hmm.
pandemic and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like almost weird to go out now. But
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
there's some local spots. There's some cool things around here. I used to perform at Harvell's in Santa Monica and downtown Long Beach, so those are always good spots to go. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want like live music and things like that. And, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like too many favorite spots out here. I just go
Yeah.
where the wind takes me. You know.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I'm so East Coast minded. Like I was just in New York last month, so that's kind of like my vibe. So
Yeah,
I've kind of, you kind of get a
exactly,
snap to kind of what your vibe is, and sometimes you
exactly,
want to test the waters on, other spots.
exactly.
If that makes any sense.
No, no, it does, and it is so spread out here in like LA, and like the public transportation's a little bit tricky, and like you have to really drive, and sometimes you don't want to like go all this way, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. It is very spread out. So unless like I have like a reason to go places, sometimes I'm not really going. I'm staying
Right.
in and just trying to focus on how I can make this next track and what I can do, and just keep fighting for myself. You know.
I feel that. I feel that. Well, definitely. I'm. Definitely love the support as
Yes, thank
well.
you.
Because I know how it is. So I
Yeah,
feel you, and you're gonna be gaining a lot of people. Like I think are gonna be digging you. I just see
thanks.
it. I just see it.
Yay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. No, we for sure need to like, be 3D versions of each other. Like and like
Yes.
be in a room with each other kind of situation. Like
Right.
I'd
Right.
like to, yeah. But yeah, we need
Right.
to make that happen for sure. Khalil was telling me about something. Do you have like a concert in New York or something in the summertime or
Yeah, we do. We actually have, matter of fact, this summer, July 23rd, this will be our second annual classic hip hop and R&B cookout. Um,
okay.
our whole certified nation entertainment team, and we're with, partnered with Cool Rock Ski of the legendary Fat
Oh,
Boys, who's a part of the team. He's actually been in the comments too. We have this event just for a good day, just to spread love, honor the legends, but then also honor indie artists, just bring people together. Like last year was
amazing.
dope. This year's gonna be
I'm gonna
doper.
have to make sure I'm out in New York in July. I'm gonna have to.
July 23rd of
Yes.
Brooklyn,
Okay.
Gershwin Linden Park.
I gotta be there. July 23rd. I gotta keep it in my
You
calendar.
you have to, because I would also love for you. I'm just gonna say it on there. I don't care. I would love for you to meet like members of my team because I
I would love it.
really see some dope collaborations.
I
I
would
can
love
just
it. I
feel
would
it.
absolutely love it. I would love it. Let's do it. Let's do all the
Yes.
things.
It's a really dope team of people, and they would love
Yes.
you. I already know that.
Yay! I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, look at Khalil already pointing out
I
stuff.
know. You
And
know what? I don't. I keep looking over. I'm like, I don't see it, but I didn't log in and do all the things, so I don't see anything.
oh, well, he's in YouTube. Pinpoint.
Okay.
He's here. He's
Hey,
here.
Khalil.
Right. If he watches the playback, he'll know that we were getting on him earlier about being more on
Exactly.
point about
about
that
that about
fundraiser.
that fundraiser for rheumatoid arthritis and all the artists, buddy. Come on, Khalil.
Yes, yes. We're gonna get. I might end up just having to tag him because see, this will also be posted on IG too. So
Okay.
tagging him when we're
Perfect.
talking about that, like, look, we got you on Front Street, buddy. You got to do
Yes.
this.
Now you got to do it. Now you got to do it. Now I have to do it too, though. I just totally did the same thing, but yes, I'm in.
I think it'll be dope. And when you guys do it, definitely let me know. Any
For
way to
sure.
support and
Absolutely. Maybe
post
that will
it.
be your excuse to come to LA.
There you go, right?
There
Exactly. Like, let me get on
it
this
is.
plane.
There it is. We got
Like
to
a
make it
2 hour
happen.
plane trip or whatever,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep. And look, Chris Wade, he already on top of it. He wants to
Ah,
meet.
that's it. That's Chris. That's what I was telling you about. Who did Daiquiri and Blessings, and
Hey,
that's the guy
Chris.
right there. That's the guy. We owe
Hey,
so much to
Chris.
him. What a guy. I'm so super grateful for him. What's
Right.
next for you, CJ? I
Mhm.
mean, he knows that's adorable. But next is the next EP, like I was telling you
Yeah.
before. Hopefully very soon. Hopefully next month it'll be coming out. We're hoping. Just trying to finalize the things and make sure everything feels right and the tone is right and everything. But yeah, just working on oh, now I'm starting to see people. Now I'm starting to see little things down there.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just working on the next EP, working on the next things. Also super proud of Hip Hop Fit. I see you have the little Hip Hop Fit here on the bottom. Hip Hop Fit.
Yes.
Shout out to Mike Peel. I'm so super proud of him. My brother, he was just on the Wendy Williams show for Hip Hop Fit. They flew him out there. He did a little segment. And I believe he is trying to do a tour all over like the United States,
Ooh.
maybe starting this summer. Hopefully, some of us get to take that journey with him and get out there and hip hop fit for the people. But if you don't already follow him, definitely go to YouTube and check that out. Mike Peel. If you need a good workout at home, you might see me on there.
I did.
Get your
Look,
hip hop fit on.
you were getting it. Like, how long
Yeah.
have you been doing Hip Hop Fit, by the way?
How long? Well, I met Mike. I was working at a studio out here in LA. I was teaching tap and hip hop and all the things, and he was a teacher there doing Hip Hop Fit. And I saw that there was like, I'm like, what is this class? And he had like 50 people in there. I was like, what is this? And I'm like, I got to take this class. And I was hooked. And it was he definitely has a dance background and acting, but fitness as well. So I really like the way he does his classes because he welcomes everybody. It's not just dancers. It's actually maybe 20% dancers and like 80% like just the regular person who just loves him and like loves to move and work out and have some fun. And he builds off of like the choreography off of throughout the whole class, but the song keeps changing. So the playlist changes and you kind of have to switch up your same choreography as the class goes on, but like to that same thing that he's teaching. So you're doing it over and over to get the cardio and then also just having fun with yourself, putting your own personality into each thing. And then of course he'll throw fitness in there and squats and push-ups and all the other nonsense. And then be like, go again. And so you're like leaving class, like dripping sweat. And you're like, I hate you, but I love you because I just had so much fun. And like, it's so great. And you're hooked because you're not even thinking I'm working out because like, you're just moving. He doesn't let you really think about it. So it's so much fun. And I've been doing that with him. When did I start teaching there? Wow. Like maybe, gosh, how long ago was that? Maybe like 2017, 16, 17, maybe something like that. I think I started teaching there. So yeah, wow. Is that right? Gosh, time flies. I know. I'm always like, it was just the other day. I'm like, no, that was like 3 years ago. Like, what the But yeah, yeah, I guess it's been a while. Yeah, maybe definitely at least about 5 years I've known him. So, and then during the whole pandemic, he got creative and started just doing the whole YouTube thing and asked some of us who are just in the mix with him and kind of the Hip Hop Fit fam and if we could come and help do that. And so I'm really grateful for that too. Actually, my cousin's like, I think nanny out in like Connecticut was like, you need to check out this workout video. And she was like, okay, and like watch it. She's like, that's my cousin. And I was like, okay. She started watching it. She's like, oh, my friends are working out too. I'm like, that's great. Like beautiful. So
that's awesome.
He's definitely touching the people. He's doing all the things. So I'm really excited for him and hopefully I can be a part of that with him out there. So maybe hitting the States with some Hip Hop Fit. You never know.
Look, that's fun. I was watching the videos. I said, I'm about to get out there.
Yeah, do it. It's so much fun. It really is. It's fun. And it is easier at home because you can at least pause it and like give yourself a break. Like you don't have to have him in your face. Like, no, you don't get a break. No water for you. Like,
right. I can cheat the system just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tad. Do you I know you've been doing teaching, but like do you teach like children as well?
Yeah,
too?
I did. I did. I prefer to teach adults just because for me, unless I'm gonna teach like students who are like kind of coming from the same like background competitively as me, like if they're not even competitively, like, but I don't. It kind of throws me when I'm teaching for kids that like don't really want to be there, and their parents are just kind of wanting them to have this activity. It's like it's hard for me because like I can't force them to love it, and it like takes the fun out of it for me if I'm like, so when you're teaching for people that are a little bit older or kids that are like serious about it, or the adults are coming from their own time, their own money, coming to take, you know, to come and spend this time with you. So obviously they're going to take it seriously. And children that are like, you know, trying to pursue this and really wanting my advice, of course, like, but it kind of just throws me sometimes when I'm teaching that, and I'm like, I don't want to force them to be there, and it just takes the fun out of it for me. So I don't really go like try to do that, but I will.
Right.
You know, I will. We got to do what we got to do to survive. You know, we need to pay our bills and such. So we'll do it, but you know,
Right.
I prefer to teach adults or just serious students.
Right.
That
Right.
want to be there.
Right.
Anybody's time. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Like
We don't have enough time. Yeah.
Don't force them if they're not into it. That's fine, you know.
So.
You know, let them do what excites them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. That's the way. And then, are you thinking about maybe writing any songs for like people as well?
I would love to. I definitely did in the past. Like I had a few people many years ago. A friend of mine that I worked with, he was working with a couple of artists that were about to be signed, and they heard one of my songs and they were like, "Can she write for me?" So they gave me a bunch of beats, and unfortunately, they weren't really willing to take care of me financially or like have any sort of contract before I handed anything over. So I kind of like stopped that. But I definitely wanted to do that, and I've tried here and there, but I haven't really gotten any opportunity to really do that. It's mostly been for me, but I would love to. I would really love to. I love to write, and I definitely have a lot of songs that I've written throughout my life that I knew necessarily weren't really for me, but I was feeling them, and I have them on the back burner somewhere down the road for something. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm always open to it.
Right. She's got them, people, but just with the right
I got them, yeah.
you
If
know.
you're lucky, you might hear it.
You know, like you got to do everything right, people.
Yes,
Let's,
exactly.
it's like know your value and your worth, which I'm glad, I'm very happy that you definitely know, your value.
And it's tough, and I hate to be, because some people are like, oh, send me this, and I've told other people like you can't, and I'm like, I don't want to be like you can't, but like you really can't. Unfortunately, you can't trust people. You know what I mean? Like you really can't, and like I don't want to hear my song like on TV somewhere and be like, well, shit. But like,
right.
I mean, obviously, it's like I'm thinking so highly of myself, but at the same time, you never know. Like that has happened. Things like ideas, and like, well, that was mine, but there's no proof. There's no nothing to come. So, what do you do? But so I definitely am a very protective of my music and my ideas until I know that they're gonna go somewhere. They're gonna do something, and then I did get I did do I have my own publishing too. Like I did that through like BMI as well, just because like I do like write as well. So it's not like I want to have all the rights to my words and everything. So I definitely made sure I'm very much a part of all of, thank you. I'm very much a part of all of the whole process, and I want to be involved. And if all the money could just rain upon me and I had all the options to do the things that I know I want to do in my mind, like I'm ready to do it. It's just, it's hard, and people are like, well, what are you waiting for? I'm like, well, it's that, it's if I can really invest and do this with this, and I'll get there quicker. But to do it mostly alone, it takes a little bit longer, unfortunately. So who wants to help?
You got, SPP coming up, so you're doing things, and
Yeah,
definitely, with these plugs and connections,
yeah,
we'll definitely talk on the outside of all
for
this,
sure.
so
Absolutely.
definitely, I definitely see great things happening because you're just
Thank you.
doing it, and then it's about speaking it into existence, like law of
Absolutely.
attraction. I believe
Absolutely.
in that.
Oh yeah, for sure. My mom, if you see in the beginning of the blessings video, there's like pictures of like my grandmother and like some friends of mine have wrote things, and there's a post-it that my mom wrote and says like, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, you can achieve it, so like I believe that. She tells me all the time, like she will tell me, don't say that, if I'm like, oh, I'm broke, no you're not, no you're not, you're abundant. I'm like, you're right mom, I'm abundant, you're right, like I'm abundant. And like, because it really does, like it's so stupid. And my friends would get mad at me when I'd be like, you gotta set your intention for the day. And I
Mhm.
try not to put my feet on the ground until like I really feel good about it, because I don't want to set the tone for the day, sad or in my head about something. And like I try to just like breathe or like set the intention of like what I need. And people are like, oh, it's not that easy. I can't just step out of bed and be happy every day. I'm like, no, me neither. You have to fight for it. You have to like,
Mhm.
if you say I'm gonna have a shitty day today, you're gonna have a shitty day today because you don't mean you even though you don't want to have this shitty day, you spoke it into existence, and
Yep.
somehow, some way, your mind is like allowing all this shit to come to you. So you're like, oh,
Yep.
see, I told you. No, 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 you told yourself. So if you wake up and say I'm gonna have an amazing day, you're probably gonna have an amazing day.
Yep.
So believe that shit and know that it's gonna happen. So you got to, yeah, you have to really. And it's funny because actually I saw something recently,
Mhm.
forget where I saw it, somewhere in the social media world, but it was like when you're a baby and you get up and you walk, everybody, like when you're trying to walk, everybody is cheering for you. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. But as you get older and you say, hey, I'm going to open up my own business, or I'm going to do this, you have so many people like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And they put all
Mhm.
this fear on you and tell you can't, because maybe they're afraid of them in their own like mind, like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But you, why not still be encouraging to me? Why not make me feel like I can get up and walk? Like, even if you don't believe it, like, don't tell me that I can't do it. Don't put all that on everybody else, So that definitely resonated with me too. And I was like, that's absolutely right. Like, because we we seek that, like, you know, assurance from people. And so when people are telling you like you can't, you're like, well, shit, maybe I can. Maybe that is a bad idea. Like, like, but if I listen to everybody telling me I shouldn't go move to New York by myself at 19 and be out here and then do, I'd be, I don't know. I have no idea what I'd be doing, but I'm happy it's not that because, like I don't have everything figured out, and I definitely still struggle. And I thought I would be at a different place in life than I am currently, but
Mhm.
I'm proud of myself and I'm standing on my 2 feet, and I keep getting up every day and fighting and believing that I can do it. So that's That's all I can keep doing. You gotta just believe, like you said, and we got this,
Amen.
and we
You
got
should be proud. You're doing it. Like things are just happening. Even
it.
like it's like the little steps, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it just leads to bigger things. That's the way I
exactly,
see it.
exactly. So baby steps, exactly, baby steps.
Mhm. Yep.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
It sure wasn't. So like more shows, more videos,
Exactly.
visuals,
More shows,
definitely.
more videos, definitely. More music on the way, all the things. So
Most definitely, like so much and look, Nazim says, she resonates so much with you, and
oh,
it's true. It's like a
thank
lot of what
you.
you're saying. I feel that right now, Nazim, like man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. And you're right. So we exactly, and like we all just have to like be there and keep lifting each other up too. Like it's crazy. Like I mean, even like growing up a competitive dancer, like it's funny because I like people in my dance studio would try to be like, you shouldn't talk to them, like they were against them. I'm like, no, we're not. Like I was friendly with everybody. I was in competition with myself. I was
Yes.
competing with my own self to be better every single time I stepped on that stage. I don't care what that person's doing, and it has to be the same in music. And sometimes I would feel, well, what, I don't understand. Like, how is this person doing that? Like, they're not even,
Mhm.
they don't even do this or this or this. I'm like, and I had to stop. I had to pull myself back and be like, nope, it's not about them. It's about your own thing and whatever they're doing. Like, I can't focus on that. I have to just focus on how I can just keep getting better and how I can do the things I need to do for me. It's not about anybody else but yourself. And hopefully you can line yourself up with the people that are feeling all that, and you all can build each other up to win instead of trying to bash each other and be like, oh well, no. It's like, no, like if you're not about it, then leave them alone. But if you are, then like let's like help everybody like do it, you know? Let everybody win. And you know, it's not about you. It's not about you. You gotta sit back and cheer for everybody until they're sitting back and cheering for you, because you can't get there alone. You can't. You really can't. Like, as much as we all want to do everything ourselves, we cannot get there alone. We need help. We need it.
We do. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta have a support system and support each other. I always say, man, you win when you're supporting and just doing things together. You know?
Absolutely. You got to.
Yeah. I'm like,
there's no I in team, damn it.
Yes, ain't no I in team. I ain't never seen no I in team in all my 4 years. So, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
You know.
Amen. Exactly. Now I'm seeing the little comments. Yay. So
yeah, they've been, girl, I know they've been on it. I've been putting them in. When you see the playback, you know, because you'll be able to just kind of watch and not think about it. You'll see them just flooding in.
Yes.
You'll see them just flooding in. But yeah, just supporting each other. I love it. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
You are definitely activated. You are speaking the language for sure.
Yes, we're activated.
Yes, we are activated, everybody. We in the building.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that you're on the West Coast right now. That's great.
I know, right? We might see it's just stuff just happens for a reason, because I was supposed to already be moved back by now, but I haven't. So, you know, stuff happens.
Where are you going when you go back east?
So I'm going to be moving to like the PA area, because I used to live in like Jersey and things like that. And then I can go to New York, you know, do my business in New York.
Exactly.
I love New York. I love the energy, but it's too expensive, yo. It's too expensive.
I know. God, I miss New York all the time. God, I do. But
I know.
A lot of my friends, when I go out there and I'm like, where are you living now? They're like, oh, I moved to Jersey. I'm like, oh man. They're like, yeah, I can't afford it. I'm like, oh, well, what are you going to do?
Right. But at least everything's close. You know, I lived in South Jersey. I still got some good friends there. So, I mean, it's just New York. We gonna visit, but I can't afford to New York. You're a little bit too high for me.
Yes. Gosh. And it's so small. Like the apartments are like this big.
Yeah, and I'd be like, costing all that. I'm like, I think even if I get
$3,000 for this like shoebox, you're great.
Yeah, I'd be like, dang, you know, look, they better have some diamonds or something.
Exactly. Does somebody come out and make me breakfast every day or something? Like, what's happening?
Right. This thing better turn into like a car that's like floating or something, flying. It's crazy, you know.
Yes.
Oh, she is, and she Pinpoint just said you're a superstar.
Thanks, bud.
That's so dope. That's so dope. I love that support. I love that support. And thank you, Pinpoint, because if it wasn't for Pinpoint, we might not have met. So see.
Exactly. I know. He told me, he was like, hey, you should really tune into my you know, my thing today, my interview today. He's like, you're really gonna like this lady. And I was like, okay. And I listened. Like a good girl that I am, I listened and I hopped on and I was like, oh wow, okay. And I was like really loving everything you were saying. I was like following you right away. And
oh, thank you. I did see you in there.
Thanks, Khalil.
I know, right? Thank you, Khalil. We love you.
Yes.
See, everybody, see, that's the vibe. See, like, pardon me, y'all. You got us talking some girl talk too on here. That's just how it is. You never know what's going to go down on Activated, I tell you.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. And for you, with you being a superstar, because we're speaking that, and, you know, just with the lessons that you've learned, the things you've been through, the grind, you know, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, gotta get deep on you.
Wow. Oh, wow. Let's see. I just, you know, I just want people to be inspired to be themselves, you know, like I want to move people and hopefully tap into them so that they are able to see themselves for who they are and believe in themselves, and just give them, you know, somebody that's like going through what they're going through, and I just want to connect with people. I just want to create and just leave a. God, that's such a tough question. Gosh,
Yeah.
that's so loaded. It's such a
I
loaded
know.
question.
There's so many levels,
Gosh,
because yeah.
I just want to leave, my magic behind, I guess. Just
Like
want to
leave
leave.
your work, what you've left,
Mm,
you know.
yeah. Music is so special because it's like, it really does live forever. So I'm grateful that no matter what happens with it, how big or small it is, I'm happy that at least whoever does want to hear it, or years and years down the road, and they stumble across my name and they hear this, it's forever, and like that's cool. That's cool to me. I love that music will stay and live forever. So hopefully the people in hundreds and hundreds of years who hear it, they will be inspired by me and be like, I get what she was saying. I like
Yeah, like I
that.
get that. I get that. You're gonna be having, the young
Yeah.
ladies talking about,
Yeah,
yeah, listen to her, and we're just moving on right, right with it.
exactly.
hmm
Yeah.
Which I should ask you too, like who were your, musical aspirations?
Oh wow. Definitely, like I said, Billie Holiday was one.
Mhm.
Billy, Bessie Smith, I definitely Janis Joplin for
Mhm.
sure. Patsy Cline was a big one. My grandmother and my mom, I definitely was a huge fan of Patsy Cline. Um, gosh, like, and then you get Motown and all that stuff, like Aretha
Mhm.
Franklin, like Miss Lady Soul herself. I mean, uh, gosh. Amy Winehouse is definitely huge for
Ooh.
me. Erica
Mhm.
Badu, Jill Scott. Um, gosh, the list continues.
I know, right? It's so
But
many.
yeah, like just like strong, powerful female voices for sure. Beautiful writers. Yeah. Oh, her. I love her. Her is a
hmm
good one. She's super, super talented. Um, but yeah, those are a few. Those are a few of them.
Yeah, those are some good ones. Those
Yeah.
those are really good ones, and I can kind of tell some of the
Mhm.
influences, with your
Yeah.
voice and the music. I'm like, yep, yep,
Yep.
that makes
Yep.
sense.
But then you got to keep that Biggie and all that
Of course, yeah.
Dilla and Pete Rock. You got to get all that good stuff back there. Wu Tang.
Hey, yes,
Come on. Um,
yes, yeah.
Most Def, love Most Def. I mean, like too, I love
Mhm.
all that too because they're you know rap like it's funny because people ask me too, like, "Are you ever gonna rap?" And I'm like, I think it's funny. Like, I would, but I also think I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't really see myself like that persona, but I
Mhm.
definitely would love to do like some more scatty, like jazzy, like and put
Yeah,
my like spin on that because I rapping is for me. It's like so rhythmic, and
yeah,
that's where like for like percussion, like I is key for me. Like that's like the first thing I almost start with is like, what's the beat? Like, how do I like make this beat? And like, how do I, so, and even with tapping, like I love to tap to. I saw you like the Erica Badu tap that I did.
yeah,
Like I love to tap to stuff like that. Like I'm not like I'm a classic tapper, but like I also was raised on like tapping to like Sweet Home Alabama or like hip hop or something because
right.
you're just that other instrument. You're that percussion. So like percussion. Um, with like the rapping is like I relate to that. So I definitely feel that, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to do a little alter ego someday and do a little
Yeah.
rap situation, but if
Mhm.
not, I definitely want to do like a little scatty like jazz kind of rap
That would be
intro,
dope.
just because that definitely is in my background and my influences as well.
Mhm. I think that would be really dope. Look, I already can't wait for that. She's gonna do it. She's
Yes,
gonna do it. She's
all
gonna
the
do it.
things.
My goodness. Just so amazing. Just so amazing. And so we got great things
Yes,
happening for 2022. So
yes,
I love it and beyond. And
yes,
definitely, of course, before we go, we're definitely gonna, play that Keep It Real. That's a special song, but
yeah.
before all of that, is there any shout outs, any love that you want to give?
Oh God, whoever didn't hear before, whoever is listening, or who will listen in the future, gosh, mom and dad for sure. Oh, what is he saying? Mom and dad for sure. Chris, Thank you so much. Anya AV. God, all my friends back home, like between like home and like dancing friends and New York and everybody that just still supports and has encouraged and told me not to ever give up. And so I just really want to thank all of them and all the people that are currently in my life helping me try to just make my dreams reality. So I really am grateful for all of them and for you for letting me be here today with you. So thank you.
Hey, I'm grateful for you. Like I said, I'm humbled by it. I love it for you to even share the space with me. So I just love it. You know,
thank you so much. Yeah. I can't believe, I know when we did that, when we booked this like months ago, I was like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, wow, it's March. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited though. Like it's great to finally talk with you.
I know. I was excited. I was like, yay, finally. I was like, it's your turn.
Yay. We did it.
Right. And, you know, always, you know, definitely welcome, you know, to come back on. Always say it's not just one time, you know, you feel like, hey,
I'd love to, yeah.
Someone else is about to come up. Get me back on there, you know.
I'd love to,
my pleasure.
I'll definitely keep you posted about when I have an actual date for the EP, but I'm hoping April though, for sure.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you, Nasim. She enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. She may be hitting you up because she has a great show too as well, you know, that she streams on all these platforms and then some. So just spreading the word.
I'm in.
You know? Radio. So you'll probably will be hearing from her, I'm sure.
Amazing. I'd love to.
Definitely. And then where can people tap into you? I mean, I have the IG on here.
Yes, IG. I'm building my website. Chris and I actually had a conversation about that earlier. He was helping me build it and reminded me that I really need to finish that just to have a nice landing page for everybody to see all the things. But yeah, IG is really the main one for now that I kind of go to, and I'm not great at it, but I'll try to be better. I'll try to just, you know, be on there more and let people know what's going on in life. But yeah, that one, Facebook. Yeah, those are like the two main ones for right now that I'm on. But I will definitely keep you posted on the website when that's all up and running.
Hey, can't wait. And of course, you know, your music is on all platforms.
All platforms, iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, all the things.
Definitely. Most definitely. And, you know, we got to play, like I said, that Keep It Real from this Real Talk, you know, it's a very special song. It's dope. It's my favorite song off the EP. And, you know, before I get into that, you know, it was a pleasure having you here on Let's Get Activated podcast. Looking forward just to build, you know, more with you. I'm looking forward for people to tap in more with you. Like I said, it's streaming YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Certified Nation, streaming on all those platforms.
What you?
I know people call us.
We're not.
We just talk about that. We were just saying that, you know. But Lord, but again, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, CertifiedNationEntertainment.com. And I will also get this posted on 3 IG pages that I run. So we're definitely going to get it going, run it up and everything for you, you know. You know, also appreciate everybody who are tapping in on the live, but even appreciate people who are going to watch the replays, you know. It's going to be dope.
Watch the replay and then play it again and then share it with a friend.
Yeah, share with a friend and a friend and a friend. Just so tap into the music. You know, we want to see those streams and buys go up. Buy. Not just stream, buy, y'all. You got to buy it.
Spread the love, people.
Definitely. So it was wonderful, everybody. This was episode 60. And do you want to give a segue before I drop that, you know, keep it real on everybody?
Tell a friend to tell a friend. There you go. She just said it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Whoa, thank you for that. I asked and there it was.
It was like, tell a friend to keep it real.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. CJ SCALA, let them know, you know.
That's right. So everybody, we're about to play that Keep It Real. It was a pleasure, everybody. Much love. So let's go.
Judge you, 'cause we all have flaws, it's true. If you love me, then love me. If you need me, I'm here. But please don't waste your breath putting lies in my ears because I won't chase you. I'll just replace you with someone who knows the deal on how to keep it real. If you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it real. If you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it real. Keep it real. It's so sad to me that you don't know what friendship is supposed to be. Friends don't talk behind your back, and when you cry, they make you laugh, and they'll never leave you all alone. They'll make you stronger, they'll make you wiser, and always let you know the deal on how to keep it real. If you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it real. If you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it real. Keep it real. Just keep it real with me. You gotta keep it real with me. Just keep it real with me. You gotta keep it, you gotta keep it, you gotta keep it. Gotta keep it real with me. Totally RESPECT, my space and time. And if you don't, that's okay. Just don't be surprised if I choose to walk away. Cause I already told you, if you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it real. If you wanna take this ride through life with me, come rain or shine, you gotta keep it